Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Today I've got two new products from a relatively new company called Performance Accessories. They right now are engineering these two parts for a variety of Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Honda models. I'm sure that list will change over time, so you can check out their website to see if your bikes are covered, but they do have them here for my FJR 1300. And they were generous enough to send a bunch in. Stay tuned to the end of the video to find out about a giveaway. So what they are replacement covers for your reservoir, for your clutch, and or your brake. They offer them in a GoPro mount or a ram ball mount. And of course, any accessory that uses the standard threads will go right into this. So you can route your phone, your GPS, lights, whatever you want. You can go and put it on very easily. Now, there is a price premium with these because they are made in the USA. They are machined from a solid block of aluminum and then anodized. And I have to say, they are absolutely flawless. The finish, every single edge, there isn't a single manufacturing flaw on these parts. It is ridiculous. But again, there's a price premium. These are 49 bucks a piece compared to the plastic universals made in China. This is a Ram mount, actual Ram brand universal that I've been using for years. And yes, it functions the same way, but it looks a lot worse. Let's face it. It's not perfectly cut for the bike because it's meant to use on a whole bunch of different models out there. And it's on these little bushings, so it stands off. It doesn't replace the cover, it goes on top of it. It just has longer screws and you just plop it on top. You know, it looks okay, it functions, but if you're looking for a really slick look, these replacements fit the bill. And you can see that they are the perfect size. And of course, it's going to replace this cap so it will look even slimmer once we go on. Now, not all roses. I got a couple suggestions for the company at the end here, but let's go ahead and put these on and see how they look. So I'm just going to throw down a towel here just in case anything drips. It shouldn't. You've got the plastic actual seal cap underneath this cover holding the fluid in, and we're not disturbing that. Save these screws just in case you need to put the stock back on for any reason. Saves you a trip to the dealer or the hardware store. And then we'll gently take this cap off. Again, just don't disturb the actual plastic seal underneath. I got a little bit of fluid building up there, so good thing I put the towel. And now we place the replacement on. Let's see if it fits. And it does. Tiny bit bigger, but lines up just fine. Let's go ahead and put the screws in. And they do include screws and a wrench, so you don't have to buy anything. Just run each one in. Don't tighten them until they're both in place. Now these have to be nice and hand snug. Do not over tighten these. They are tapered head screws, same with the stock ones, and you can really jam them in there. It's easy to tighten these, but very hard to loosen if you over tighten them. And if yours are stuck, especially if you keep your bike outside and it's got any kind of corrosion, just give it a tap. Put a screwdriver in there, give it a tap with a rubber mallet. That helps break it up. So there we go. That is German torque specs, good and tight. Let's make sure nothing came out, nothing did. Boom, look at that. Nice and slim. If you're not mounting anything, it looks stock. I mean, my eye wouldn't mind looking at that at all. I'm going to go ahead and do this guy. This is where I use my phone for my navigation. And you can see it's just a solid plastic piece with a solid ram ball mount here. And funny enough, they sent me a couple other accessories here just to go along and show you guys. And I was not impressed. I'm looking at this ball going, wow, there's a lot of sharp flashing on the top here. And you can see there's a bunch of over molding all over the shaft. And then it hit me, this isn't their part. This is an actual Ram part and made in China. So it's a very obvious difference in quality compared to the made in the US. Likewise with the stock cover on the other side, I'm just loosening the screws. I'm going to remove this additional Ram piece here. Got to be careful because there's, like I said, those two little bushings. They're going to want to fall right here. They just work as a spacer. And then we can remove the stock reservoir cap for the clutch side. Same deal as the brake. And put on the new cover Perfect fit with the included new screws. Nice and snug, good to go. And then just pop on the accessory of your choice. I'm just going to put on the ball mount, and then I can put my phone back in place in its mount. The ram ball here takes a 14 mil wrench. And again, just good and hand snug. That doesn't go anywhere. It's got a locking washer. Put the phone mount back in place, and I'll of course get that into perfect position once I actually put my quad lock and phone back in there. So this is another really cool product. It's a GoPro swivel mount, so you no longer have to play with janky adapters. This will mount to any of the standard GoPro frames. You can put it in either way, and this is a very snug, secure fit on this mount, much more so than any kind of plastic mount. I'll put the anti-vibration pad back down in. Now you can mount the GoPro, and you can swivel it any way you like. So I know a lot of guys are looking for an easy front-facing camera mount. I actually might use this myself. There's a lot of days where I don't want to put it on my helmet, especially if I'm just riding for scenery. Boom, right there out of the way, super easy. Or a lot of guys do a dual cam. You want your selfie cam? Boom, there you go. Very nice, very secure. And of course, if you want to put anything else on there that uses a standard GoPro mount, 360 cam, etc., there you go. Pop it back off. For the times you aren't running, looks awesome. Didn't even leave a scratch. That's nice. All right, so now the negatives, and no deal breakers. This is more of my advice, specifically, number one as a consumer, and number two as a business owner for this company. First of all, I totally understand the need for logos. It's brand marketing. It's always a good thing to do some kind of logo on your product. However, there are a lot of people, myself included, that don't like to see a bunch of third-party logos on stuff. And that's why you find on virtually every product out there, including RAM, that it's usually embossed. You know, it's subtle, it's there if you see it, but it's not glaring. That says RAM there, and they do the same thing on all their other parts. And many other companies do the same thing. What they did with these is after the anodization, engraved it. So it's silver. And this one especially really catches my eye. I mean, it looks good, but the problem is unless you already know about the company, this means absolutely nothing to you. It's a funky logo. It's not the name of the company or anything. It's a stylized PA, and I think that's an E for engineering. I have no idea. It kind of looks like a Rubik's Cube. But that doesn't help sell your company. And a lot of people are going to be put off by just seeing that out of the corner of their eye all the time. I'm personally going to take a little black Sharpie and fill it in so it won't, mess with my head. I'm not OCD or anything, but I just don't like seeing it. I did the same thing with my very expensive home theater speakers. I blacked out the silver logos on the black grills because I didn't want to see them. So it's just a personal thing. That's just as a consumer, not a big deal, but an easy fix for them, or maybe offer it in two versions. All they have to do is do the engraving before the anodization, and you'll still see it. It'll just be the matching black. So my second suggestion, this is a big one, and unfortunately it's expensive. Trust me, I've made marketing mistakes. I spent a good $40,000 in the first couple of years making a ton of mistakes my first years in business. Most of them marketing, most of them advertising. What they've done is really a very common newbie problem, and that is the name of their website. But anyway, those are it. The products themselves, they're awesome. They look great. They are staying on my bike. Now the other cool thing, and I mentioned this earlier, they sent me a buttload of parts. So if you're in the FGR enthusiast group on Facebook, you can get in on some giveaways. I've got clutch, I've got brake, I've got RAM, I've got GoPro. So I'm gonna give all these away. You just cover shipping, and we'll go from there. That's it. See you guys next time.